Caraway. This is The Other Side with DC. I suggest that you subscribe, like, and share. My guest today is Kiyundra Jones. Who is she? Well, she's only the president of the Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce of color, African American, and has been the president for 10 years. Hey,
Hey there.
how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I'm glad you could come to the other side.
Thank you for having me.
Because now all I want the Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce to do is help us on the other side
Here we go.
of 35.
Okay, here we go.
I just thought.
Here we go. Here we go. I knew
thought
we
had a
were
little-
going there.
I thought we just have a little fun.
Okay, I knew we were going there.
No, we're not really going there.
Okay,
Listen, tell us about Oak Cliff. First of all, I'm very proud
thank you.
for you to be the president of the Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce. Now, there's the Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce, and there's the Black Chamber of Commerce, and there are some other commerces. Tell us about it.
Okay, so the Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce is very different in that we are a regional chamber. Of course, we cover the entire Oak Cliff.
Okay.
And so that is very different than an Asian chamber, a Black chamber, Hispanic chamber, whereas they are responsible for maybe that demographic of people, whereas we are responsible for a region, which is Oak Cliff. Now, I'd love to go on record as saying we are not the North Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce. We
Okay.
are the Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce.
Now, what did it explain that? Say it one more time. You're not the.
We are not the North Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, so there is a North Oak
There is
Cliff
not.
Chamber.
There is not. But
Oh, okay. I got you.
there is a misconception
Okay.
that our Chamber of Commerce is for the northern part of Oak Cliff, and that's not true. We are the one and only Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce.
Okay. Wonderful. And you've been there for 10 years.
I've been there for 17 years.
Okay.
And then I've been the president for 10.
You're doing great things
Thank you.
because I can go back and look and recall on that side of 35. When I say that side of 35, I'm speaking over, on the other side of Oak Cliff, 35. Okay. You get my drift.
I do.
It was not as much development going on over there as it is now.
Correct.
And so within the last 10 years, it's been a hell of a lot,
That's right.
to your credit. And your predecessor, of course, Bob and the folks, Bob Stimson and those folks that were there. But you've done a lot.
We have done a lot, but I can't take credit for a lot of what's happened in the southern part. I have to make sure I get this right. 'Cause
Yeah, you know not to say sector.
I was about to say sector,
You
but
stopped in your tracks.
I did because you have been correcting me.
I would have.
Southern Dallas.
There you go.
Southern Dallas.
Okay.
I've been saying Southern Sector for 17 years, so I thank you for the feedback.
Okay.
But yes, the Southern Dallas part of the region has changed significantly, and I would like to think that it's been a team effort. Of course, under your leadership and some of your other counterparts, we have come together and made Oak Cliff, well, and not just Bishop Arts, made it a destination. And so I think the entire city of Dallas wants to be in the southern Dallas area now.
So how's your collaboration working with council members Chad West, Scott Griggs, and others?
I absolutely adore my council member, which is Chad West. I do live and work in District 1. Chad West is not only my council member, but a friend of mine and has been even before he became a member of the council. He actually sat on our board of directors and is responsible for hiring me as president, one of the 4 attorneys that promoted me to being president. Relationship is phenomenal. As far as Scott Griggs is concerned, he is definitely a friend, but I'm most certainly closer to Chad.
And Scott and I both champion bringing both sides of the freeway, the zoo side and the Bishop Art side, collectively together with the deck park that's there.
Yes,
What's happening with the deck park?
it's happening.
Okay.
And for a long time, I don't think we knew that it was. There was some opposition, and I'm just happy to see that it's coming to pass. So the deck park, as you're well aware, is something that is definitely an asset that's needed for the southern Dallas area. as we see with the Clyde Warren Park, those kinds of assets can stimulate quite a bit of economic development and has. And so it's something that the southern Dallas area needs. And so it's happening.
Well, there was a big fight, and I was in the middle of the fight
Yes.
because myself, I was dealing with Adam McGee, friend of mine,
Yes.
former council member, and he, of course, wanted to have that same deck park that's now been built and constructed over by the zoo, and they wanted it out on 635.
Sure.
Now, of course, you see where it is, and it's
Yes.
in my district.
Yeah.
Okay. But there were those, one person, I'm going to get into the name calling, but they called it the Recck Park and worked hard against it. And it seems like it's still moving, but it's moving slower than what it should be moving. What do you guys, what's your take on it? Don't smile now, just come on with it.
So the Oak Cliff Chamber has always been in support of the Dick Park.
Okay.
Okay. And so we have done everything possible to be in all phases of that deck park to make sure that we were in full support of it happening.
Okay.
From even from the point in which it was just a concept and we didn't know that this thing would be moving forward. In fact, I serve on the Dallas Zoo board,
Okay.
and so was able to support both ways from that standpoint, from the Dallas Zoo standpoint, as well as the Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce. We have also had some of our board members fundraising for the project,
Okay.
so we are in full support. And so, yes, it is moving a little bit slower than it was, but it's still moving forward.
Well, it better get completed because I worked my behind off to get that deck park right there
It's going to happen.
for somebody to be calling it a Recck Park. So what are the future thoughts and plans for the zoo side of the deck park and that community as it relates to commerce, economic development, and everything else? I mean, what type of vision do we have for it, or is that being discussed? That shouldn't be anyway.
Yes, all of those plans are in the works. So yes, there is a master plan for the Dallas Zoo, and so there are, there as we know, when the deck park comes, we'll need additional parking for those kinds of things. And we have a new Dallas Zoo CEO, and so she is working very, very hard to make sure that we have a refresh of the overall Dallas Zoo. And as we know, that's a wonderful asset for the Oak Cliff community as well. And so there's more to come there.
So how does a person or a business contact and become a supporter and member of the Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce?
Okay, so thank you for asking that. Thank you for asking that.
I want the folks to know.
Yeah, me too. So they can visit our website at oakcliffchamber.org. You can find us on any social media platform, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, I believe. We're everywhere, and it's Oak Cliff Chamber. So please get involved.
Now what is that telephone number? We put the phone number out there too.
I can put the phone number.
Well, we waiting on you.
The phone number is 214-943-4567. And my direct extension is 206, or my cell number is 469-235-9047.
How are the memberships? Talk about the memberships. How expensive are they? So folks can know. Everybody wants to support Oak Cliff.
Okay.
So how does one support Oak Cliff? How do they find memberships? For those that don't have computers and can go online,
Yeah.
here's the best time to tell them what they need to know.
Sure. So we are a membership organization, and we have memberships ranging from $350 to $25,000. $25,000.
300.
I didn't know what you were doing.
Well, I was about to fall out. That's what I was doing. $300.
300. Oh my goodness.
Go ahead.
$350 to $25,000. We have two different categories of membership. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about them high memberships.
That is not that's an annual investment in your business. We spend more than that eating. You know what? Let's talk about some of our programs, because I see that all you want to do is get to the money. So I'm fixing to hijack this.
Hijack it then.
I'm about to hijack.
I'm gonna hijack you right back. You
Okay, that's
hijack it.
fine. That's
All
fine.
right, now we're
Listen,
doing pretty good. Come on.
we were doing well.
All right, so
We were doing well until you went off course.
okay.
Okay, you ready? We're
I'm
going to
ready.
talk about some of the Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce programs. Is that
Let's
okay?
talk about
Is that all right? I need to ask
I'm with you. You got it.
How's you the man on the wall? So I just want to make sure I get the
I'm the man
permission
on
from
the
the right
wall.
person.
I'm the man on the wall this morning. I was the man in the mirror. Good.
Jesus.
It's-
Let's talk about some of the Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce
Let's do that.
programs.
Okay.
So, of course, the Oak Cliff Chamber, our primary mission is to help with economic development in the region of Oak Cliff.
Right.
And so we do that through programming for our business community for the most part. So the Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce has a business university.
Okay.
And that's for entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And it is designed to help entrepreneurs stabilize their businesses
Good deal.
and to ultimately thrive in those businesses. We partner with Hush Blackwell, big law firm downtown, as well as with a financial institution to help businesses, primarily minority businesses, get access to capital because most businesses need that. So it's a 10-week program. It could be 10 to 15 weeks, depending on what our businesses need. 10 to 15 weeks worth of education, and they're working alongside a financial institution to get the access to capital that they need.
Okay.
So that's one of our very, very successful programs. We just started our latest cohort as of last Tuesday. We adopted 13 businesses. We had 22 applications or applicants for that, but of course there is a business criteria. We accept those businesses, and our guarantee is to partner with those businesses to strengthen them. So that's one of our programs.
Okay.
We also have a Leadership Oak Cliff program where we take existing leaders in the Oak Cliff community and we make ambassadors out of them. It is an 8-month program that basically takes them around the whole community and shows them who the stakeholders are in respective industries. We have a government day. We have a law enforcement day. We have an arts day. We have all of those things that shows folks, mainly naysayers, what Oak Cliff truly is, and we make ambassadors out of them. And so they can tell the story of how phenomenal our Oak Cliff truly is by the time they graduate. It's another program that we have.
Okay.
We too have a podcast. It's called Strictly Business Unscripted. And of course, you were one of our guests last week, in which you were very well behaved. And I want to go on record as saying I'm super duper proud that Mr. Carraway behaved himself on our show.
I'm super duper proud. I was able to come over on your side to do the show on the other side.
On the other side,
35.
he came on the other side and was very well behaved. We used great words, and we did a great job. So we have a podcast as well. So we just got a lot of community programming. Now, we do the same things that other chambers do in that we have networking events. That's how that we're similar, but we're very, very different. We're unique. We have a workforce development program. There is no other chamber in this Metroplex that has that, where we take the underserved community, the unemployed and underemployed, and we give them access to opportunities for employment. They're not just jobs. We stair-step them into careers, and we've been doing that since 2016.
Well, and that's good. And I'm very proud to know and see and to understand that you are a person driving in the right direction for Southern Dallas and Oak Cliff, okay? Because now, I'll get a little hairy here, but I'm not putting you on the spot, but I will say a few things.
Okay.
The attention given to Oak Cliff is not necessarily equal when it comes to the one side of the freeway versus the other side. I mean, let's just keep it real.
I agree.
Okay.
Yes.
And it is changing.
It is.
All right, under your leadership. Okay. So I give that. But, you know, there's so much lacking on, you got your Bishop Arts, Kessler, and all that stuff. It's beautiful. Wynwood Shopping Center and all that is happening.
Yeah.
Okay. But as we kind of had brief conversations as related to Langston Key Shopping Center, the grocery stores that are not there, Save-A-Lot being torn down, the Dart Rail not being upkept up and down Lancaster. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm putting reality, real facts out there that people see every single day.
Sure.
And as I was saying and expressing to you, we are the only uh, Oak Cliff, South Dallas, Pleasant Grove, Singing Hills, South Oak Cliff, all of us lumped in together. We're the only ones without a movie theater. So something is going to be going on in Wynwood Shopping Center. At least that was when Scott Griggs and I were together. There was talk of a movie theater coming there, maybe. Any update on that at all? Or
No.
have you heard that? Or?
So I know that there have been attempts made with Brixmore, the developer over there in the Wynwood Shopping Center. And I know even Peter Brodsky out there at Redbird has really tried to get a movie theater and some other amenities over in the area. I have not heard that anything has been secured. We did meet with the property manager for Wynwood the other day, and we know that the Super Target and things like that are going in, but I haven't heard of a movie theater.
Yeah, and those are the type things, Ms. Jones, that has my attention.
Sure.
Because until we kind of deal with, and I continue to talk about Lanks Key Shopping Center.
Sure.
That's the hub. That's the heartbeat of Oak Cliff, South Dallas,
Right.
Pleasant Grove. Pleasant Grove, in order even to get to Redbird, they got to first have to drive to South Dallas. Then they got to come from South Dallas, come to Oak Cliff. Then they got to get to Oak Cliff and go through to South Oak Cliff, even to get to Redbird, while we have Lanks Keys sitting right there in the center.
Right.
I would just hope, and this is my ask, that concentration, discussions would at least begin to figure out what we're going to do in the heart of Southern Dallas, because that is the heart of it,
Sure.
so that it can keep up the pace with, the Bishop Arts, the Kessels, and all that kind of stuff, with restaurants, jobs, opportunity,
Right.
and fun, and stores, and all of that. So I just want to kind of throw that out there, so that through this podcast that we're doing recurring right now, folks kind of know where I am and what I think that we need to have.
And I think that's fair. There are some other potential destination areas and in the Oak Cliff area, and they just need the correct attention. My commitment is that I will continue to follow up with the developer that's been requested to purchase that property.
Right.
And see if there's anything that I can do to make that happen.
Well, one thing you can do with that developer, you can bring that developer over here on the other side, so we can kind of help him understand that get the eyes open of the need. If they don't know, and if they don't hear it, straightforward, we'll never get it. Now, you talk about housing, and they're building apartments everywhere. You guys, when I say you guys, there are apartments and things going up everywhere. I mean, downtown, in the other parts, northern part of Oak Cliff, and you got a few things that's popping up in and around. We can continue to talk about housing, but guess what? Can't nobody afford them. They build them up. One bedroom is, hell, $1,500, $1,800 a month, and who can afford that at a $12 an hour job?
Agreed.
So I just want to have things and people to kind of refocus, to understand that we can talk about housing, and we can talk about all these different pie in the sky things, but we still have to be able to afford them. And I'm going to join the Chamber of Commerce. Do y'all have any complimentary memberships?
We do not. Absolutely not. There's nothing complimentary over there.
Well, see, that's my
Not
point
even
right
the
there.
water for you. We got to pay for that.
See, look at that. We is up the street. We just can't win. Y'all, we can't win. All right. But at the end of the day, in all seriousness, my commitment is to help. Okay. And I want to pledge publicly and pledge my support for Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
I'm not throwing the Black Chamber of Commerce on the bus, but however, we've been black for a long time. We've been black Chamber of Commerce for a long time, and we should not be waiting on somebody to give us something that we should be working to have ourselves. We should be doing these things. We should have the ability, the tenacity, the excitement, the commitment to want to change our community. I don't need nobody to come in and change like Key Shopping Center. Hell, we need to be doing it. That go for everybody. That go for the preachers. That go for the teachers. That go for the politicians. That go for the community. And let me just put my own little personal thing out here. I always tell people just because I'm black or just because you black don't mean that you're right. So that means that we have to clean up the crime. We can't be hanging out. We got to work together as a community.
The Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce is the oldest chamber of commerce in the entire Metroplex. So I'm not probably. You can fact check me. Anybody can. We were established in 1920, so we're 104 years old. You can't find another one in the region as old as ours. And so we started out as an association.
Okay.
And so the Dallas Regional Chamber is relatively new, comparatively speaking.
Relative what now?
Relatively new.
Say it one more time.
Relatively new.
You just lost your bet.
I didn't
Why would they have to be relatively new if they had been existing all the time? They ain't been existing all the time. They relatively new because they no, I just told you.
You didn't say nothing, sir.
I tell you now.
Okay, so we're gonna fact check, but these are facts.
What you just said? You said they're relatively new.
These are facts.
How new are they relatively?
I really don't know. That's
Okay.
not my.
So,
Okay,
so if Dallas been here all these years, if Dallas has been here all these years, then why would they have to all of a sudden come up with the Dallas Regional? They came with that because the Dallas Cowboys, the Texas Rangers, the Lone Star Park, the growth of all of the suburbs that's moving around there. So they said, well, we got to get it all. We got to be everybody. So we're going to make ours the Dallas Regional.
Dwayne, I think you made all of that up.
Well, just check it then.
You just made all of that up. But listen, let me tell you the facts.
Told you.
Let me say, that ain't no facts. That's as spoken by Dwayne. Make that up. Listen, we are the oldest, and
Yeah, well, you can be the oldest.
when we're talking about resources, that's the biggest impediment of all of these organizations is that we're fighting for them. And so, yes, there are some things that should be made available to the business community that we're having to charge for.
Now, you do know who was running the city at one point? The Citizens Council. They was the chamber. They was okay. So the Citizens Council was the chamber. That wasn't the chamber. Until then they say, well, we better do the chamber.
Yeah.
And then they say, now we better do the regional chamber, because then your organization, the Oak Cliff Chamber, has been that, and you all were doing things for Oak Cliff. But the northern part of Oak Cliff, y'all
I knew you were gonna slide that in.
No, I'm
So
not
let's
sliding
go
in.
rip the Band-Aid off.
No, hold on one minute.
He gonna slide that in.
Let me just say this one thing. I'm just.
He did. That's fine. We can address it. Let's go and talk about
You
it.
really want me to really address it? Because let me tell you something about this. Let me just tell you something so you understand this. Since
Oh, we got it.
I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back with a second segment so we can make sure we retitle everything and they can have a clear understanding about what we're talking about. Because I don't want to mess up our good interview with it. It was great. I'm supporting you all the way. I'm encouraging people to join. I want the nonprofits, everybody to join, the business people to join. Have y'all ever reached out and sent a membership opportunity to Ruinous Chicken? Oh, hold on. Go to commercial break.